This is the MTPredictor weekly update for March 11th, and this is the daily chart of the ES, the S&P. And you can see the pattern that's formed here if I put the analysis on. We talked about this last week, the 5-wave pattern up. We're expecting a little bit of a correction. We got a little bit of a correction early in the week, and then based on the monthly chart, we saw this, the weekly chart, we saw this strength on our STF. So that's why I was thinking we would get a small pullback and then maybe go on to take out the prior highs. So back to the daily chart here. Here's our pullback. By midweek we began to progress back to the upside based on that strength on the weekly STF. So we'll see if we can get into the typical wave 5. You're going to have some more decision point resistance right up here around 1376 area. But we're heading into a couple things happening this week. You've got the Fed announcement on interest rates on Tuesday. That'll be at 2:15 Eastern. And it's also a options expiration week. Happens to be quadruple witching Friday. Markets tend to rally into about 70% of the time into options expiration. So we'll see if we can get in that 1376 area, maybe into the typical wave 5 resistance up here that's next. That area will start around 1386, right around there. So that's the picture on the S&P. So this little pullback was anticipated, and we'll see if we go to new highs. Right, here's the daily Dow, and I just wanted to give you a picture of this. You see the pattern is the same. Now the Dow has not gotten into that minimum wave 5, so another reason why I think we've got some more upside. The minimum wave 5 resistance here in the YM around 13,000, just about 13,080. So I think we closed Friday at 12,863. So we'll see if they can continue to climb there. Again, the next resistance will be just under that, this little decision point resistance area. That'll come in around just above 13,000. If we do get a full correction, it would be back here to the wave 4 DP. But we're going to wait and see if this thing goes minimum wave 5 up, and then see if we get a correction, or, like I said, if we get into the typical wave 5 in the ES before we get any type of correction. But we just have to be careful once we get up into this area. If you're long stock, I closed some stuff out. Was it Friday or the Friday before? Just as we get up in this area, you just got to be careful when we've got a 5-wave pattern going up here that we're due for a correction. So just keep that in mind. And let's take a look around at some of the other markets here. Here's the dollar index, and you see we made our significant low back here, and we've got had kind of a shaky here's a 3-wave shaky wave 4 and a wave 5 here. Here would be the wave 4 DP, the next major support here on the weekly chart. The thing that we're looking at, again, this was the last swing into the low here, so we're going to take a decision point, give us another major resistance area. I still think the dollar has a shot at testing this decision point area. That's going to be up around 79. About 84.50, right in this area here. And we'll see. It's had this pullback from the wave 5. We had a little decision point resistance for this swing here, and so we were expecting a little bit of a pullback as the euro had moved higher. And now, in fact, we'll look at the euro here in a second. So we'll see. I still think we have this area to test in the dollar. If it does continue just to fall off, then we'll see this decision point support area down here. On well, here's the euro US dollar. This is the the daily chart. This happens to be the forex pair, but it's basically the same setup there. This short trade here, you're at the 100% initial risk line, so your stops can be moved to break even there. This we had this again the 5-wave pattern down, and that's where we saw the correction basically initially back to this wave 4 DP. Okay, and then it formed a little ABC pattern. That's why we got the TS4. It sees the ABC pattern here. You see the target down there at 125.15 in the forex pair. Let's just take a look at it in the 6E. 6E, little different. It's got a decision point sell signal there. A smaller target there at 29.19. All right, but again, at the 100% initial risk line, stops move to the entry there at 33.74 for a risk-free trade in the euro there. All right, here's the weekly gold. Again, we had that long trade. Again, reached the 100% initial risk line. We've talked about this for a few weeks, that the stops have been to the entry now, and we'll see if they can either get stopped out at break even, or we'll get to that target there at 18.99 and change. Silver, same pattern. It's been some nice buy signals here with the obviously with the uptrend here, avoiding short trades on the blue STF. Let's look at silver's basically the same pattern there, and ABC. Again, this target would take it to all-time highs in silver. The weekly chart here, but again, risk-free trade. You're at the 100% initial risk line, so the initial stop can be moved to the entry. It's been that way for a few weeks, so no change there. We'll just see how these finish out. All right, here's oil on the daily chart. Again, the last long signal there that hit the target there for about 4.5 hour. Retested that, went to the wave C area here. We can just see the pattern there. So you got a little wave 4 support area in here. You got a blue buyer's candle telling us the buyers were overcoming the sellers now in a support area, and we can project up a target for this. Go up wave 5 here. Okay, and there's your wave 5 target. Coming in right around 110, 110.15 will be your first wave 5 target there. Typical wave 5 is going to come in right around 114. So, but minimum wave 5 is our initial target on that. We can take a decision point off of wave 3 here, and you're going to have some overlapping resistance as you get into just below 112. So we'll see if it gets any more rally and finishes out into wave 5. If it does, if it gets into this area, we could expect then potentially to get a correction back to the wave 4 DP support area. But we'll see if it finishes out to the upside here after it's pulled back into this support area for oil. Alright, so again this week, didn't want to cover a whole lot of ground, not a whole lot transpiring, but we do have Fed week here. Get that out of the way on Tuesday. Maybe that kind of frees the market up a little bit. We've been kind of in these ranges during the intraday stuff. And then Friday, heading into options expiration, is going to be quadruple witching. Probably going to be pretty messy, but we'll see if the markets, at least the Dow and the S&P, head higher into Friday, anticipating options expiration. All right, so I hope that's helpful, and we'll pick it up again next week.